figure out where I'm going here. I definitely want to do a video right now whilst it's fresh. I have just opened up a bank account. It's pending at least. I've got to go back and collect a card, and I think that's it really. I'm going to get confirmation, but I am making this video. This might not be the best place to make it, but this is important. The process, right? So I'm going to come back and flow the process in one go. I just need to make sure I'm walking in the right direction here. Okay, so here's how it goes. I mean, it's so fucking windy. There's always a reason. There's always some fucking form of distraction. You know, Amy gives me this feedback of like, Charlie, we need more clips that you can stop itching your nose and shit. It's got to look good for Instagram and all this kind of fucking shit that comes up. Look at that beast. But if I need to do it again, I'm going to do it again. But here's the process whilst it's fresh. If you are thinking of coming to Georgia to open up a bank account, here's my experience just now. What's needed, what to be prepared for, the details of what to do when you walk in the place. So for reference, I went to TBC Bank, and what you want to do when you walk in there, if you're completely oblivious like I was, I went in there with no prep, did a little bit of research on ChatGPT, and I know people come here and open up bank accounts, but I haven't ever seen anyone document the process, and it makes sense. Taking a camera in there just doesn't fit. But when you walk in, what it seems like for the banks and similar places, you have to get a ticket, a small little ticket. So you speak to a staff member and you let them know what you want, and they give you a ticket, and then you wait to be called, and you're waiting for your number to be called. So the longest and most difficult process to that, in fact, it might not necessarily be true, but I was waiting there for quite a while, so I think they must have skipped my ticket number. So I had to go up and get another one. But look, I don't know if my number's coming up here. I was waiting there a good 40 minutes. So that delayed my process. But then, once you get connected with a member of staff, they're dedicated to what you want to do, like whatever it is that's going on, right? So, in my case, hello, I'm looking to open a bank account. And this is what you need. You need a local Georgian number. I mean, you might not need that, because she put my English number in, but there's no numbers or text messages coming through. So go in with a local Georgian number ready. You need your passport ready. You need an address in Georgia ready. And for me, I just use my Airbnb address. I don't know how much that impacts things, but it's all I have. So I just use that. So, passport, local number, and you want an address. Then it's going to ask you a load of questions. You need to be prepared for the questions it's going to ask you, which for me, I'm not sure on all the exact details. Like a tax number. I don't know what exactly that means, a tax number. Does that mean like a tax number associated with my business? So what I ended up giving her obviously because I'm from the UK, was my national insurance number, and it seemed to go through. So you want to be a little prepared with the information that's needed to open the account. But the main things that I would say is, when you come into a place, hello baby, when you come into a place, you have to help them out a lot. Yeah, you can't expect someone to fucking help you, right? Like, or come and fucking spoon feed you. You have to come in with direction, purpose, intention. And you might not understand everything, but you've got to speak to someone and just say, hey, here's what I'm looking to do today. How can you help me? And help yourself as much as you can. Because I had to leave. I had to go and get a local SIM. It's actually an eSIM now, with a number, and that was pretty quick. But I went in there, and there's definitely these experiences of Georgia where you're just getting people feeling the way that they're feeling. They're not hiding it from you, right? In the UK, it's very easy to be very fake and act like you're okay, act uplifted. Here, they don't try and hide it. And you could say, you know, that they're miserable. But the point I'm trying to make is, you got to understand what you're coming into, what you're walking into. Like, there was a woman that helped me at the end just get some cash out. So I was telling her I just want to be able to tip people. And I said, how are you today? And she was like, 50-50. Right? And if I hadn't had asked her, then I'm just assuming her mood. I am waiting for a cab right now. It's Thursday the 14th. I'm in Tbilisi until the 21st of August. I'm actually going to be spending my birthday here alone, which is on Tuesday. Right now it's Thursday. But I've managed to plan a lot. Managed to get a lot planned and a lot scheduled. And one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm actually heading to a spa. I'm just going to buy a monthly pass. And basically one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come here was also to rejuvenate. And I'm going to do that in this spa. I'm going to buy a monthly pass and just rinse it. I'm also heading down to Batumi on the 21st to spend 10 nights there. And I've heard mixed reviews about the beach town, very touristy. I'm kind of like aware of what maybe to expect. Nonetheless, I'm going to go down there, feel it out, spend 10 nights there. I'm also going to see live orchestral performances of Hans Zimmer's work, which is exciting. I don't actually book things typically for myself. So I'm going to do that. I got my hair cut just now with Gia again. I've met a few new people. I haven't been updating too much. But Batumi I'll update more, and maybe if I can, try to get some footage in the spa. So that's it for now. Right now I'm just keeping an eye on my cab. Yeah, it's quite busy right now. The roads in Georgia are definitely, or in Tbilisi at least, from what I've experienced so far. It's probably not going to be the easiest place to drive, but I have found a sense of relief booking things in advance, and booking them in advance and knowing where I'm going on my trip gives me peace of mind to focus on what it is to do next. I definitely feel at this stage, one of the reasons I came here was to see if this was a good place to live, to bring Amy, to bring Shadow. And collectively between me and Amy, we just intuitively feel that this right now isn't the place. So we're going to be continuing to do more exploring, still with the primary intention we have to find a place that we can truly call home and apply for a visa so we don't have to leave every 90 days. So that's still the goal. Alright, so a quick little update. So I don't know if I've done a tour of this place yet, but I'm in another Airbnb. And this one's pretty cute. It's quite romantic actually. And basically what I did was a few nights touring Tbilisi, walking around, being in that steak restaurant, and what I've decided, because I'm moving fucking in under a week, is that looks like a mess, because it somewhat is, but strategically that's the way that I put them in the vacuum bag, and then I put the vacuum bag in the suitcase, push it all down, and then vacuum seal it. It's been like a game changer. Nonetheless, big TV in here, kitchen. I'm heading down to Batumi on the 21st, and today is the 18th. Tomorrow is the 19th of August, which will be my birthday, and I'm experiencing it on my own, which is something I've actually always asked for, but never actually fully received. I've never not spent a birthday. My hair's all conditioned and everything from the spa. It's fucking all over the place. But I've never not spent my birthday with Amy. The last update I gave, I was on the wall down there. I had just got my hair cut. I was heading over to a new place, I think. I'm not going to give my thoughts on Georgia right now. I'm actually hoping this is going to be a quick touch base, but this is what's happening. In the gaps of what I haven't been filming, going to that steakhouse, I've managed to find a couple of friends. They were actually in this apartment yesterday, and we were just chilling for a bit, which is a good indicator, because the goal for me is to find, naturally, without forcing it, find people that are on my wavelength, right? And there's nothing more important to me when I come to a place is to get connected to the locals and get the... If I want to understand what a country's like, I have to ask the locals. This is what I'm trying to say. I did that in Serbia, and you can go and ask random people, and it does happen. But it happens normally, coincidentally, when you're spending money somewhere, even if that's just a calf. I'm in the steakhouse, I've made friends. I'm going to this spa and this gym, and I've made a couple of friends, but the two that stand out to me is the two that were here yesterday. So shout out to those boys. They started to give me a real insight of Georgia, and I'm going to share more about it. What I plan to do when I go down to the beach town Batumi, I'm going to document more there down by the beach, speak more about the trip, experience more of Georgia, because I've only really experienced Tbilisi so far, and find out what it's all about. I've had mixed reviews. I have not gone into this naive. I understand if I go to a beach town, the beach town's going to be full of tourists. There's going to be people there that are being tourists. There's going to be places that they charge you more. I don't give a fuck about all that, really. I know that coming into it. I just need to sense the energy. One of the biggest things that drew us towards Georgia was the ocean, or in this case the sea, being near water. Serbia we fell in love with, and we began to almost cultivate family connections there. But you're not surrounded by any body of water. You've got the river that runs through, but being next to that body of water really creates openness and space. So I feel it's a really important thing energetically. Nonetheless,
I am going to continue to provide little updates rather than lots and lots of raw footage of me walking around, although I'll still do that. I kind of like the idea of what you see on YouTube with these walking tours. I watch a lot of these 4K walking tours when I'm about to go to a place that I've never been before. One thing that I wish that there was a hybrid of was almost raw walking tour footage with someone speaking in the background. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm going to capture anything else that comes up naturally. If I get more friendly with staff down in the spa, I'm going to see about requesting to film some of the spa, because the spa's beautiful. Film some of the spa for YouTube. Even worst case scenario, if I leave a link to the spa, I think that could be good, because it's a great spa. I've spent money now on the spa for a month. That gives me like 1 free massage, 1 free manicure, 7 floats, access to the gym. I can go there anytime I want, unlimited from 8 till 9 basically. It shuts at 11 but they cut it off at 9. That's a great place. And I've invested in this trip going down to Batumi. I'm actually going to watch, if you're familiar with Hans Zimmer, the movie soundtrack producer, creates movie scores, and there's I don't think it's him there, it wouldn't make sense that he's there, but there's an orchestra down in Batumi at a theatre playing his music live. And something that I've always wanted to do is go to a theatre and listen to orchestral music, listen to bands, and hopefully in a place that's acoustically designed for that experience. So I'm going down there, and that was kind of, along with the massage I've booked for myself tomorrow on the birthday, it was kind of my gift to myself. There's some updates to come from both me and Amy. Amy's going through a hell of a lot right now back in the UK, and we've been playing it by ear. We've been taking it day by day, and anything can happen at this stage somewhat. There's a worst case scenario date that Amy would be leaving the country, and it's around September the 13th. If that happens to be the case, where Amy leaves the UK, she drives out the car and everything that she has, Shadow, and I meet them somewhere, wherever I'll be, I'll have to be in Tbilisi to get a flight, and then reunite. And if that is the case, then me and Amy would have been apart from each other for almost 6 weeks, which we've never done before. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. But the way I would put it is that when you just like spend your life in a very particular strategic way, me and Amy are very much like a business. It's hard to describe unless you're around it. But if you ever come to mine and Amy's home, you'll experience this coordination and systemization of how we live, how we operate, what we do, our family, energy, vibe, culture. And that's what makes our relationship so special. So when we're not with each other, I'm on my own. I mean, there's pros and cons to both, right? There's pros and cons to me being on my own, but I'm on my own. And I'm a man, so it's a bit different. I can just switch off. I feel like I could live, if I needed to, in a fucking prison cell. Amy has to go back, and she's living with relatives right now. And that can come with mixed experiences. Mostly good, but then the reality of what happens when you spend time with your relatives. So we're both going through that. That's what's happening right now. I wanted to pull this out. I literally just got back from the spa, went to the shop, got some of these supplies. My massage is booked tomorrow. I am now going to, I'm completely nocturnal right now. So I'm mostly awake all night and sleeping till about the afternoon. Not the most sustainable or ideal routine to be on, but I constantly find myself on it. I've done a few all-nighters, having to move Airbnb pretty much every week. There's been a couple of events that I've stayed up for anyway. The UFC the other night. There was an arm wrestling the other day. There was an arm wrestling event. And overall, Georgia's an amazing, beautiful place. There's a lot more that I want to give feedback on and share my experience in time. But I'm thinking what's probably best, and even if it's just Amy watching this, what we have to do is piece together, instead of loads of little videos, piece together one big video of my experience here in Georgia, and then take it from there. But that's all for now. Little updates. I want to get way more daytime footage. That's what I'm hoping to do in Batumi. Way more daytime footage. Walk around Georgia a little bit more. If I can, the people and friends that I've connected with here, leave a camera in the corner. Fucking listen to the type of conversations that are going on. Yesterday, and I'll end on this because I need to put this food in the oven. Yesterday was a good example of how it felt, just two people here chilling, connecting, me learning about Georgia through them being a little younger, and they've never really travelled anywhere else, so it was a good experience for me because it was the first real, as short-lived as it was the first real, someone's in my place, we're chilling out, boys, like, it's friendly, right? And that's what I look to fast track when I come to a place. You can make friends through expat groups. I'm in a WhatsApp group, seems to have activity going on all the time. They seem to meet up all the time. That looks like good shit. There's something here, if you aren't born here, if you're not from Georgia, and you come from a different nation, there's something here for everyone. They accommodate for that. And I love the idea of that. However, I lean more towards, how can I get deep into a community of locals that happen to speak English, even if it's broken English, if we understand each other enough. I like that. And that's kind of where I'm at so far. So yeah, without further ado, I have a mailing list. Would you believe it? And that mailing list is where I provide all exclusive, uncensored information, wisdom, tools, free resources, invitations, all the kind of basic stuff. And I realized what I have to offer often gets me pulled off social media. So the only way I can give you this direct source of wisdom is on the mailing list.
Shut your mouth. Or have you?